Hey everyone, so I went to Lowe's this morning and I was part of the plant rescue team. I found a ton of plants that I would love to have in my garden and they were all 50% off. So I went ahead and grabbed them, and today we're gonna be planting them in my side yard, as well as replacing 2 arborvitaes that are not doing so well. So I'm gonna bring you along for all of that. The first plant that I rescued is this cat's meow Nepeta. I have cat's pajamas, and I'm gonna pan the camera slowly so I don't make you dizzy. But this is cat's pajamas, so it stays much smaller. It gets about 12 inches wide, and there's a bee on there, but I did just divide this cat's pajamas, and it's over there, so it does spectacular for me. So the cat's meow is going to be the larger version of this, so it's the same bloom, it's beautiful, it just gets much bigger. So the cat's meow, it looks like, let me get the camera in focus, it grows about 17 to 20 inches high. It needs about 24 inches of spacing, so it's gonna get pretty wide. These are a little leggy, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna chop these back before I plant them so that the roots can root in, and the blooms, these have been forced to bloom early in the season. So I'm gonna chop these back, and they should give us another flush of blooms before the summer season. So it's hardy zones 3 through 8 down to -40, so they should perform spectacularly for us. So if you've been watching the channel, we rescued these pink profusion salvias from Lowe's, and they had 3 more. I kind of knew that they were going to be putting these out. I mean, I don't know what is wrong with their shipment of these this year, but they're just out of bloom, so people aren't buying them. They're half off. I got them for $7. So this is the pink profusion salvia. I've shown this before on the channel. It looks like it gets 14 to 16 inches tall and about 16 inches wide. They do push up, and they do spectacularly in the garden. These are the ones that I rescued, and they're all blooming now. You can cut them back when the first flush of blooms is done, and then they will push another flush for the season. They're a beautiful perennial, and I just got 3 more, so I'm gonna add to this drift. So we just have this big block of color. This is the last thing that we got from Lowe's, and it's probably the worst looking. It definitely got burnt. We have had some really cold weather later in the season. So this is a sparkler Arrowwood Viburnum, and it was originally $42.98, and we got it for half off, so I paid like $22 for this. It grows 15 feet tall by 15 feet wide. It's hardy down to -30. I do not have another viburnum. I'm not sure if this is the type that needs another viburnum in the garden for it to produce berries. It doesn't say that it does, so I'll have to do some research on this to see, but I'm gonna be planting it in a new garden area that we're gonna start developing. All right, the last plant for today is this Russian sage. I have 3 of them, 1, 2, and 3 that I planted last year, and this one got crushed when I had this tree installed. This is a sweet gum. When I had this tree installed, somebody stepped on that one. I did not think it was gonna make it, but it is going for it right now. So I've got these 3, and I bought 2 more today because I've shown these before on the channel. This is a variegated, I think it's type of arborvitae. They were not supposed to burn like this. They are from proven winners. And if you look, they are doing a good job at burying the dead, like the new growth is coming through. And I could just go in and chop these back, which I'm going to do eventually while it's still cool this spring. But I'm gonna move both of these to that side yard with that other one and replace both of these with the Russian sage, which, let's go over the specs of the Russian sage. So this is the plant tag. It's called Denim and Lace. I've grown it before. It is a spectacular non-fuss plant. It doesn't want a ton of water. It doesn't want to be fertilized. It just wants to really be left alone in a very sunny spot. So the height is between 28 to 32 inches. The spacing is 34 inches wide on it. And it gets these really pretty purple bloom stalks up in late summer. So usually when everything else is kind of looking bad, this is still looking pretty good. And if it's getting too much water or too much fertilizer, it will flop. But the Russian sage variety from Proven Winners, Denim and Lace, is not supposed to flop as much. So I didn't have any issues with these, but they were very small last year, but I feel like they're gonna get pretty big this year. So that's all of the plants that we're gonna be planting today, and I'm gonna go ahead and get to work. We're gonna get all those in the ground. I will kind of lay things out on camera, and I'll show you why I put things where I put them, and then we'll get everything in the ground. So I wanna put the cat's meow it's close to this White Wands Veronica that these are all from splits from this past spring, and I definitely need to mulch in this area, but I just want a little trio of them beside this is a Gatsby oak leaf hydrangea. So I'm gonna place all 3 of these in a little drift. I do want to push them out towards the edge because they are a full sun plant and we do get more shade along the back, but this does get 4 to 6 hours of sun. It's like halfway. It's like a really weird bed. But I'm growing full sun things in here right now and they're doing well. Place this last one. So that'll be our drift for the cat's meow. I think that's going to be really pretty, and they will kind of swoop over the sidewalk a little bit, which I love that look. But like I said, we're going to cut these back with scissors and then plant them into the ground so that the roots can really grow in, and we'll get that second flush of blooms, and we should have much stronger bloom stalks so where they won't be flopping as much. Okay, I never show this area on camera. One, because, I mean, I haven't even started on it, really, but two, because it looks terrible. Our sod ended up there, and then the grass, like, seeded all this, but it was destroyed when we put it in our pool in our backyard. So I want to start working on this area. I don't know if we'll get around to actually mulching it this year, but I do want to go ahead and get some plants on the ground so they can put on some growth. So this viburnum will get 15 feet tall and wide. We have no neighbors yet in this backyard, but I would like something that kind of, this bed will eventually kind of swoop through this area. So I want a large something right here, and I want to go ahead and get it in the ground so it'll, you know, have time to get big before we finish this bed. So this will be one of our statement plants that we put in this bed. So we always want to start with those. I'll probably start with evergreens and larger plants this year, and then next year we'll come in with some shrubs and some perennials. What we're gonna do with this is the same thing we're gonna do with the cat's meow. The tops of these are just birds, but if you break, so like I did it at Lowe's to make sure, but all of these are still alive. So I broke the branch to see if it was green inside, and as you can see, it is. So I'm gonna come in with garden shears and kind of shear up all the dead stuff off of it, and that'll give the roots some energy to root in, and we'll connect it to drip. Under the fence, there's a drip line that runs right here. So we'll just connect into that and run drip to this guy. I was doing this viburnum and show you kind of how I'm making my cuts. I can kind of see, like if we take this for example, I can see the new growth coming off here. So I'm just going above that new growth and snipping out the dead. So like this one, you can see that this branch is alive underneath of that. So I'm just gonna come in here and snip that off. And I've been going along the sides, like if there's a big branch that's really dead, I've been like cutting off the whole thing. You can see where like the grower has made cuts to size control the viburnum. So I'm probably gonna take that whole branch off. And then this one, I'm gonna bring that. I really think that there's not much you can do to hurt a viburnum, but I'm gonna take off all this dead, and here we go. We are looking much better. I got all that trim back on the top. You can see it's got buds that look really healthy on it. I don't know that it was freezer burn or if they just didn't water it for a while and all the new growth kind of died off of it, but there are little buds everywhere. I think it's gonna be fine. There's tons of little nodules where new leaves are gonna come out. I'm going to plant this side to the back because it's obviously the worst, and put this side to the front, like that front angle. And we'll keep an eye on it. I'm gonna set it up on drip so it'll get consistent water. It'll love that, and let it take off. We got all of that done. So that was a lot. We cut back the viburnum. I ended up cutting back the pink profusion salvia, and I'll show you that here in a second, but I'm gonna flip the camera around. We're gonna walk through the areas that we got done today. So I love this so much better than what it was. So I took out those two variegated arborvitae balls. They're gone, and I continued the drift of the denim and lace Russian sage from Proof and Winners. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them here, and they will bush up, so they'll cover up this whole area. I think they're going to be a really pretty like staircase down from our, well, they might get bigger, they might get taller than our Midnight Masquerade penstemon, but we have the penstemon, then the Russian sage, and then we have this coreopsis, and then there's a shrub rose here from Proof and Winners. It blooms pink. I think it's reminiscent pink, reminiscent coral maybe, but it'll look great. So this is our first area. Let's go to see the others. All right, we got the viburnum in the ground, and I have not set it up on drip, but I have the drip hose run. We're gonna film another video today, and I'll probably go ahead and connect that back here, but like I said, there's a drip line that runs right through here. We'll connect it. I know they say not to put a ring around plants. I've never had an issue. People say that it makes them soggy, but this is clay dirt, and it does hold water, so I think it's gonna be okay. But anyway, so we got the viburnum cut back, and we got to put it in the ground. I think it's going to be great in this corner. I'm going to back up a little bit. There's a sidewalk here, so it'll fill up this whole space here. So I'll probably put a tree in this area, and then I want to do like a row of hydrangeas. That plan will probably change, but this is our first plant in this whole area. How exciting. I'll map out this garden bed with you guys. I can't wait. That's going to be a really fun project. our last area, I end up moving plants all the time. It's cool here still. I'm at the end of May. June 1st is next Monday. But it's like we're topping out today at 70 degrees. I think it's gonna dip back down to 65. So I think moving plants right now is totally okay. I'm not gonna shock them. I'm gonna keep them well watered. So I moved this boxwood over. I had these in containers earlier, and I just got so excited in spring. I put them in containers and I knew the annuals were gonna snuff them out. So I just got them out of containers. I'm gonna keep them into like a ball shape. I think they're gonna do great. These are winter gems, so spectacular boxwoods, and they're gonna cover up this water pipe. I'll eventually spray paint that black, I think. Then we have our drift of pink profusion salvia. I went ahead and chopped all of them back. I know these were in bloom. Usually I can't stand to chop away blooms, but they were all on the discount rack at Lowe's, so they're not the best. They were getting leggy already and not bushing out properly, so I think cutting them back is good. The roots will get a chance to root in, and when they flush out new greenery and blooms, they will hopefully stay more compact, which this perennial has in our last garden. Looks spectacular. So I think this is probably what's best for them, even though I took away some color. Okay, walking down, Gatsby moon hydrangeas, oak leaf hydrangeas are doing phenomenally. I will show you, this one had a branch kind of go under the ground, and it sent up 2 new shoots, like brand new plants almost. Oh, love it. Keep coming down. This is that cat's meow, Nepeta. So it should almost form, it will look like one large shrub here. It gets about, I think, what was it, 20 inches wide? So it's gonna be beautiful. I wanted it to kind of sweep onto the sidewalk a little bit. I think that's gonna be a beautiful view. I know that I want something tall here to kind of break this up a little bit. I'm thinking of a dappled willow tree. This is a really nice area of part sun. Well, I mean, the edge is full sun, but I think if I push it back towards the house, it'll be part sun, so the dappled willow will be taken care of. I think that pink in here would look really nice. So I got both of these arborvitaes moved. This one was rooted in a lot back there, and I just pulled them out. If they die, they die. I know, come for me in the comments, but they're not my favorite thing right now. I do love the chartreuse color they send off. I am gonna come by on a garden day. I totally forgot to shear these back and get rid of the dead. That's gonna have to go on the list for a later day. So that is everything. Oh, I forgot that I planted this lamium here, and it's a variegated lamium. It has these really pretty pink flowers. I think I'm gonna get a little bit more of it and kind of put some more throughout here. I would love for it to take over. I mean, it is a ground cover. It's in the annual section right now, and it is totally hardy in our area. So I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit more through here. That's it, another project done. We saved all those plants, got them in the ground, got things cut back. I'll bring you along to show you how they're doing. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a ton, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, bye.